I'm Luke Summerhays, and I love Terapagos. From one of the original 3 starters, through various types and even fossils, turtles have been a rich source of inspiration for Pokemon designs. In the real world, though there are many species of turtles, some of the more magnificent are dying out. The Galapagos Islands, once famous for enormous land tortoises, have not seen the conservation efforts that they needed, and one particular subspecies was reduced to the world-famous last surviving member of the family, the sad case of Lonesome George. Back when I covered Turtwig and its evolutions for the start of the 4th generation, I talked about world turtles, mythical turtles which carry the continents on their backs. In Torterra's case, the world on the turtle's back was very literal. In other mythologies, the turtle may carry the skies, or some more esoteric spiritual weight for us. Terapagos is a normal type legendary Pokemon found deep in the bowels of Area 0 of the Paldea region. It resembles a small blue turtle with a gemstone for a shell. In the anime, we see it retreat into this gemstone form, worn unwittingly by Liko, the protagonist of the new Pokemon Horizons anime. Scarlet says of normal form, Terapagos protects itself using its power to transform energy into hard crystals. This Pokemon is the source of the terastal phenomenon. Like Lonesome George, Terapagos is also the last of its kind. Pokemon Violet tells us, "It's thought that this Pokemon lived in ancient Paldea, until it got caught in seismic shifts and went extinct." Our first glimpse of Terapagos was actually in the Scarlet or Violet book, where a sketch shows an elaborate world turtle shell, which doesn't resemble this Pokemon very much. This is because when Terapagos terastalizes, it actually takes on a different form, like a Mega Pokemon or Gigantamax, becoming a large round turtle with a shell of 17 segments, representing the different types. The whole land of Paldea graphically represents this Pokemon's shell. Pokemon Scarlet says of terastal form, "Upon sensing danger, it prepares itself for battle by creating a sturdy shell of crystallized terastal energy." And Violet says, "The shell is made of crystallized terastal energy. When struck by a move, this shell absorbs the move's energy and transfers it to Terapagos." This form has a big beard and a large flowing tail, owing to Japanese legends of old turtles growing tails of foam, as I discussed all the way back in my War Turtle episode, in the very first month of this podcast. In this form, any attack which hits it at full health will count as not very effective, regardless of the type. Incredibly though, this isn't even Terapagos' final form. Alongside Terapagos, we discovered a new type. Stellar-type terastalizations can boost the attack of any type of move once, making for a very unpredictable attacker. As if this Terra type, with a powerful legendary Pokemon attached to it, weren't already a threat, in this form Terapagos transforms even further, into a stack of turtles, with a new ability which eliminates all weather or arena effects. And Scarlet says of this stellar form, "In this form, Terapagos resembles the world as the ancients saw it, and its terastal energy is abnormally amplified." And Violet says, "An old expedition journal describes the sight of this Pokemon, buried in the depths of the earth, as resembling a planet floating in space." This Pokemon is the cause for the Terra phenomenon, and so digging down into the depths looking for it is the final act of the final DLC of Pokemon Sword and Shield. It also represents a character moment for DLC rival Kieran, who attempts to catch it, but is overwhelmed by its power, and accepts that the player should catch this one. and that being better than us isn't the only important thing in the world. I love Terapagos because I love turtles, especially mythological Stephen King-esque magic turtles. Still, a part of me deep down does wish I could have let Kieran catch it just this once. Music for Luke Loves Pokemon is composed by Jonathan Cromie. Artwork for the show is by Katie Groves. Writing, producing, and editing is by me, Luke Summerhays. And funding is provided by my lovely listeners. If you'd like to join them to help keep the show online and find other podcasts by me and my pals, head over to patreon.com/podcastio-podcastius. Coming up are Pecharunt, Pecharunt, and Paldean Tauros. So if you have thoughts about those or any other monsters, hit me up with a DM at LukeLovesPKMN, or an email to lukelovespkmn@gmail.com. And of course, I'd love it if you could leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen. Even if you don't feel like doing any of that, thank you so much just for listening. I love Terapagos, and remember, I love you too.